Hey guys, welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today I'm going to introduce you guys a new type of defense. All of these defenses make use of a new block that I found. I call it the half-piston. So there's two types that I've made so far. There's the upwards half-piston and then there's the sideways half-pistons, which you can see there. And if you kind of look at this piston, like you can kind of see the border between the wooden part and like the cobblestone part. So right there, so basically it's smaller than one block, and most servers haven't patched anything with this, so it leaves a lot of variety for defenses. So the upwards one is basically an indestructible slab. It will break the sand and the TNT won't blow up. So the sand broke and then the TNT couldn't do any damage. And just to show you guys, like, I protected most of this area, but I removed the bedrock, which was underneath this, so that it wouldn't protect it. And then I did the same over here, so I removed the bedrock there. Okay, so now I'm gonna find. So this kind of works like fence defenses from a while back, so it will break the sand. An important part is that you do need a block right here. One thing you can do with this is you can mine a trench all the way down to bedrock and place blocks down there. So if you had a sky base, you only had to place like 20 of these up, and then you could just put a block all the way down at bedrock and it will just make it a pain to destroy. So now I'm going to explain to you guys how you actually get the half-piston block. So there's one important detail that you guys have to know before you do this. It's that a piston takes one redstone tick to go from the single block state to that state. So the important thing is that somewhere from here to there, the piston's kind of stuck in the middle for one redstone tick. So what needs to happen is that you need a TNT block while it's kind of stuck in between those two phases to break the piston entity. So all you need to do is remember TNT takes 40 ticks to explode. So all you need to do is add 10 ticks or 10 full repeaters of delay, which is 40 ticks, and it will explode the piston while it's in between its two states. It's pretty simple. And there's one really important thing that you guys need to keep in mind is that you have to use a lever. You can't use a button. It's easier to explain this once I actually do this. So why you need a lever? Okay. I recorded this a couple times. Normally the obsidian wouldn't have exploded, but so yeah, so the reason why you had to use a lever was because if this redstone signal, like in a button, it would send like a pulse. If this redstone signal turned off, the piston would just revert back to its original state. So all you need to do is place a redstone block back there, and that's how you build the sideways piston defense. And I'll show you guys later how to do this a lot more quickly rather than doing one piston at a time, because that would be torturous. Okay, so moving on to the next one. This is the upwards one. It's literally the exact same delay, everything. The only difference is that the piston's facing downwards. It's important to keep in mind. So like in this case, the piston blockhead was protecting the actual, like the back of it, but since there's nothing protecting it this time, you need to make sure there's a floor here. So if it was just air blocks right here, the piston would get destroyed. So you might not need all of them here, but you definitely need one here. Okay. So again, you have to use a lever. Oh, I forgot to break the bedrock here. My bad, guys. I shouldn't have protected this area. Okay. So let's do that one more time. Okay. So then, again, the redstone signal there was remaining powered, so now you can turn off these levers. I forgot to tell you guys that. So you can remove all of that as long as you have this piston block there. And that's all you guys need. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys a quick way to do the sideways piston walls. So obviously, if you looked at the upwards ones that were faced in this direction, they were I called them the indestructible slab. Those are pretty quick because it's just a row, and you use a similar setup, but you don't need to like stack it all the way up. So all I'm going to show you guys in this video is how to do the fence version, because that one might not be as easy to like think of a way to do. So I have a simple setup here, and all you do, again, you have to do the lever. There's the 40 ticks of delay, and then both sides, all the TNT is ignited at once. So one thing to keep in mind if you stacked this higher is that if these were on 2 ticks, eventually the signal length would be too long, so you'd have to add another repeater. So that means you have to use a single tick there. So all of this is getting ignited at the same delay, and all of these are extending on the same tick. Okay. Hopefully this works. Okay. So it looks like there were a couple pistons that didn't really work. Oh, I know the issue with this. I think I stacked the pistons too far or something. So we'll just ignore this set of pistons. Those don't really apply. Okay. So ignoring that stuff, we have 3 lost pistons up there. It's kind of common for the top row to have a couple errors because there's less force. So you just have to do those individually. And then over here there's a couple that messed up, and errors are particularly found on the sides, kind of in the center where there's more force. The error doesn't happen as often. So unfortunately you'd have to do these ones over again, but that saves a lot more time than having to do all these one at a time. Now I'm going to give you guys a closer look at the redstone. I'm not going to do a tutorial, so just kind of look at this. Right here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 full repeaters, so that's the 40 ticks. And then we have all of these. So, okay, what's the best way to do this? So first we'll look at the glowstone. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. On the 15th glowstone block, and then there's redstone on top of all of them. You put a quartz block there, a repeater this direction. This has to be a full block, and that block too. And then you place glowstone here, and then 1, 2. Okay, another significant thing is that these repeaters here were all on 2 tick, but at this point they all revert back to 1 tick because of this, and then again all the way up, so there's 15 glowstones, so 1, 2, 3, or actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, that's the last, that's the farthest the redstone signal can go. So then you put the repeaters here, and then wherever the repeater is, you have to have a bunch of blocks with redstone on top of it, and yeah, that's basically it for this side. And then obviously you have to have all of this filled with pistons, which will be a pain to place, but the reward is in unraidable defense, or nearly unraidable. The upward slab is better, to be honest, but yeah. And then it's pretty much the same thing on this side, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then you do the repeater here, and then the rest is all the same. So the only difference is that where over here you have pistons all the way down, over here you have to do every other layer. So wherever there's a redstone block next to it, or you have to place these blocks here right next to the redstone, and then this is where your TNT would go. Unfortunately, you can't world edit TNT just because people would just world edit it and lag the server, so you have to place it by hand. So yeah. Okay, for the last part of this video, I wanted to mention a few things about this. So, as you know, all servers are different, so they have different patches, different things, so you just have to test all of these defenses individually on each server. So, for one thing, like on One Shot MC, this would work, but unfortunately on servers like MineLink, the sand would actually, instead of breaking, it would actually just stack there. Others, I believe, maybe the last time I checked it worked on the Archon, but that was a couple months ago when I tested this, and I think it might be patched now. And then this defense, every server I've tested it on, it works, so that's one thing. So definitely try this defense out. This one is so good, it's worth trying, but it's about 50-50 if it will work. Like, I play a couple servers that this works on, but yeah. And there's one last defense actually that I didn't share with you guys. It's a defense where it can break bedrock. So I just don't think, like, even if you use this defense, I think the server administrators would just patch it. And yeah, so it may be a useful tool for raiding people, but you use the half-pistons to trick the game code into breaking bedrock. It's worked on a couple servers that I've tested it on. I'm not gonna put it in this video. I'm just gonna link you guys with another person's channel, because that's basically how I found out about the half-pistons, and without the half-pistons I wouldn't have found these defenses. So it was a video on breaking bedrock, so it will be in the description. And where, like, these defenses are original, but like the breaking bedrock, it was not my idea, so I don't feel comfortable actually making a video on it. So thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day.